So the $80 billion giant PayPal shocked the world earlier in the week when they announced that their 400 million users can now buy Bitcoin and crypto on the platform. But I think this could be a very, very interesting time that PayPal has adopted Bitcoin, especially considering what their two co-founders, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, have been recently, saying about Bitcoin and what they've been recently doing. For those who don't know, Elon Musk, founder of X, was actually spotted in El Salvador with the Bitcoin president, Nayib Bukele, only last week. And then we obviously have the other co-founder of PayPal, and that is Peter Thiel. He actually said some very, very interesting things explaining why he believes the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF might have actually co-opted Bitcoin. I'm going to be playing that clip for you in just a moment, but before we play it, I want to ask you guys, is the timing of this PayPal adoption of Bitcoin at least just a little bit suspicious, considering what the two original co-founders of this mega company have been saying and doing about Bitcoin? I'll let you guys come to your own conclusion after you listen to this clip of Peter Thiel.
Sold any of your Bitcoin?
I still hold some. There are all these ways I didn't buy as much as I should have, and I'm not sure it's going to go up that dramatically from here.
That clip is even longer, and hopefully maybe we'll show you some of that. You're going to be able to find all this, by the way, online. I'm sure we'll talk more about it.
I'm getting flat. I had someone say.
So that was part one of the clip of Peter Thiel talking about BlackRock, Bitcoin, and why he's actually sold some Bitcoin. Now, I thought that was interesting that Peter Thiel has said he hasn't actually bought as much as he liked to buy, which is obviously interesting. Is Peter Thiel salty that he just simply did not buy as much as he hoped to buy? I think that is certainly a possibility, okay? Don't get me wrong. I think that is a really big possibility. Obviously, everybody is salty when they don't buy enough Bitcoin. But when I play you guys the clip of Peter Thiel talking about BlackRock in that same interview with yours truly, the man, the myth, the legend, what's his name? Andrew Ross Sorkin, I think you're going to have your eyebrows raised just a little bit further. So here it is. This is the original full clip for you guys. Let's listen to what he thinks about BlackRock.
Part where I'm less convinced of is this question of the sort of ideological founding vision of Bitcoin or these cryptocurrencies as sort of a cypherpunk, crypto anarchist, libertarian, anti-centralized government thing. This is always the line.
Isn't that what got you interested in the first place?
That's what I. Way, or has that thread somehow gotten lost? And so when people in the FBI tell me that they'd much rather have criminals use Bitcoin than $100 bills, it suggests that maybe it's not quite worth.
Okay, so there's an original video of Luke. We broke down this news of PayPal a little bit earlier, and I think it is absolutely fascinating that Peter Thiel, the CEO of Palantir Technologies, which works very close with the deep state in America, is talking about the FBI wanting people to use Bitcoin. And he's talking about how maybe Bitcoin has lost its ideological roots of being this peer-to-peer currency, okay? So there's a potential threat vector we're going to revisit at the end of today's video. But those are the two events from the two co-founders of PayPal that I find interesting and suspicious that have happened in the past few weeks and months, okay? But let's actually talk about the news before we get into the conspiracy theories a little bit deeper and show you guys what happened this week and what has everybody's knickers in a knot, so to say. So we can see here, this is straight from the PayPal website. This is their newsroom. PayPal enables business accounts to buy, hold, and sell crypto. It's massive news. I like this article here. It breaks it down a little bit better. We can see that the Jose Fernandez, who is the Senior Vice President of Blockchain, Crypto, and Digital Currencies at PayPal, he said this: business owners have increasingly expressed a desire for the same cryptocurrency capabilities available to consumers. Interesting. So they have demand for their product from their 400 million users. So PayPal joined the cryptocurrency market in 2020 when they first allowed customers to buy and sell and hold Bitcoin and other virtual coins. But now the company has become the first major financial technology firm to embrace digital currencies for payments and transfers. Okay, it obviously launched its stablecoin back in August 2023. That was Pi USD. So again, PayPal has been moving in this direction. Now, why is this massive? Why is this big? Well, as we can see from this chart here, we can see that PayPal has somewhere around 400, approaching 500 million active users today. Again, they have all gotten access to buy and sell Bitcoin now. I think a lot of these new features are being rolled out in the US first before they're rolled out globally. But again, this is huge. This is a lot of people potentially now getting access to Bitcoin. And the exact figures are even more mind-boggling when we have a look at how much volume PayPal is processing. And I think this will be interesting when we kind of talk about why are they pivoting into Bitcoin now? Is it because Bitcoin is beginning to reach this escape velocity? Well, we're going to talk about that in a second, but have a look at this. This is the total payment volume of PayPal. So PayPal processed total volume of 1.36 trillion in 2022, a growth of 8.8%. So they are growing aggressively, as you can see by this parabolic chart. But where does this compare to Bitcoin? So PayPal is processing around a little over $1 trillion of payments per year. Okay. A lot of people regard PayPal as one of the biggest fintech companies in the entire world. But let's have a look at Bitcoin. I've got a little chart here, and you're going to be able to see that Bitcoin is already eating the lunch of PayPal. So this is just the volume settled by stable coins, only stable coins, not even including Bitcoin. We can see at the end of 2022, stablecoins settled $6 trillion of value. The end of 2023, it looks like they've settled well over $7 trillion of value. Bitcoin is also settling into the trillions of dollars of value every single year. So Bitcoin and stablecoins are already dwarfing PayPal. This is why I believe they got into the US dollar stablecoin race in August 2023, a little over a year ago now. And this is why I also believe they are now racing to get into Bitcoin now. Okay. Yes, this obviously sounds incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. But again, I want to always show you guys both sides of the story. Again, we love to get bullish on the channel. We love to pump you guys full of hopium. Don't get me wrong. We are certainly very bullish. I'm about to show you the risks in a minute. Before I show you the risks, I want to finish with the bullish stuff. So again, these are some of the largest companies in regards to revenue all around the world. Walmart, 600 billion. Saudi Aramco, 600 billion. Amazon, 500 billion. And again, just to put things into perspective, PayPal is bringing in tens of billions of dollars of revenue per year. So they're in the top 100 in regards to revenue for companies. So this news is big. PayPal is an $80 billion giant by market cap. MicroStrategy is less than half of the size of PayPal. And when MicroStrategy began buying Bitcoin, their market cap was about $1 billion. So MicroStrategy is seeing more than like a 25x in their market cap. Could PayPal do the same? I don't know. I mean, right now they obviously are, they're starting at a much bigger base than MicroStrategy. They're $79 billion. But I just want to remind you guys, what PayPal has done in the past and why we should be a little bit more cautious of PayPal. And especially people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. Again, don't get me wrong. I think Twitter's great now. Twitter is improved. I've had an improved experience over the past couple of years since Elon Musk took over. But I'm just going to show you guys some receipts in today's video of maybe why we should be a little bit cautious. So let's begin with PayPal and some reasons why we should be cautious. Who remembers what PayPal tried to do in 2022? They threatened their users with $2,500 fines for promoting what they deemed to be quote unquote discriminatory or intolerance, even if that information is deemed not misinformation. No, that is not a joke. That is not just the opinions of a right-wing conspiracy theorist. That was PayPal themselves. And we can see that PayPal got, let's say, a little bit of pushback from that policy. And we could see PayPal had to come out pretty quickly. And we can see from this headline, they had to apologize for the policy, notifying their users that they could be facing $2,500 fines for misinformation. Who remembers that story? Who remembers their stock price plummeting? Their stock price got crushed when this happened, for obvious reasons. Again, let's call a spade here today. Let's not beat around the bush. Okay, fining people $2,500, taking it out of their bank account for literally for whatever reason you want is a little bit interesting. Okay, I mean, especially think of the narrative at the time in 2022. The narrative of, let's say, misinformation, disinformation, it was, let's just say, spreading like wildfire in 2022. I don't need to paint a picture for you guys and talk about exactly what was happening, but this whole discussion of what was happening was a lot more prominent. Now, I want to show you guys a pretty interesting chart that I think you might get a bit of a giggle out of. So this here is the chart of PayPal itself. Have a look at just how dramatically this thing crashed at the end of 2021, leading into 2022. So obviously there were some other contributing factors for why PayPal crashed 84%. I understand that. Obviously, interest rates were hiked at their fastest pace in history in 2021 and 2022. A lot of tech stocks, a lot of big names like Facebook and Meta, Tesla, they all saw big corrections. I understand that. But PayPal coming out with this news saying that they're going to be actually fining people $2,500 for misinformation. I think that certainly contributed to, let's say, shareholders of PayPal running for the exit door, so to say. Okay? So that's PayPal. There's a couple of reasons of why I believe we should be slightly skeptical of PayPal. Again, they had to walk this back in a dramatically, hilariously fashion. PayPal pulls back, says it won't fine customers $2,500 for misinformation after backlash. They got absolutely hammered for this potential policy. I mean, it was just incredible. We can see some of the comments here. It's hard for me to openly criticize a company I used to love and gave much to, but PayPal's new policy goes against everything I believe in. The cryptocurrency entrepreneur said on Saturdays. This was David Marcus. Again, big PayPal believer one day, but he came out and said a private company now gets to decide to take your money if you say something they disagree with. Insanity. That was the words of David Marcus. Elon Musk. A little bit interesting that we're talking about Elon Musk right now. He said in a comment that got thousands of likes on Twitter, agreed. That's all he said. I'll show you guys the source. It looks like we have the source for this. So this is from Twitter. As you can see, 2022. Elon Musk, David Marcus, some of the biggest names in the tech space were openly against what PayPal was doing. You can see the tweet here with the original source from David Marcus. He was, let's just say, not happy with that decision, and they got a lot of flack with it, which again is why I'm so bullish on the free market. The free market seems to weed out these, let's say, terrible ideas. And that's what it was from PayPal, a terrible idea. The same with BlackRock and ESG. We all know that that was a terrible idea. Okay? I'm incredibly bullish on the free market weeding out these terrible ideas. But what I'm not so bullish on is maybe there's ulterior motives for why we are seeing just openly terrible ideas being pushed. I mean, for a payments platform to potentially fine its users $2,500 for misinformation, it just seems strange. Like, why would they do that? Why would they hurt their own reputation? Are they being fed orders from somebody else? Why is BlackRock openly pushing anti-economic agendas like ESG? And they did so for a very long time as well. Why? Doesn't make sense. BlackRock's an asset manager. Shouldn't they be trying to make money? ESG is anti-economical. I'm not going to get into the whole debate today about why renewable energy simply cannot, power the entire world tomorrow. Again, it could in the future. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I'm saying it's going to take a little while to bridge to that gap of a renewable future. And I do believe fossil fuels are going to have to help us bridge to that world where we hypothetically could be using 100% renewable energy sources. But again, it took BlackRock a long time. It took BlackRock getting sued from all sorts of different pension funds in America and all sorts of different states in America before they dropped the ESG narrative. They had an ESG backflip, and then they had the Bitcoin backflip. So again, a couple of questions here about why are people chasing these dreams of a world that just aren't economical? Another one of those dreams, I believe, or maybe not a dream, but maybe something we should be cautious of, is in this article right here. Elon Musk wants to turn Twitter into WeChat. Is WeChat a freedom promoting platform in China? I don't know. What do you guys think? Before we talk more about Elon Musk, China, WeChat, and how a potential Bitcoin attack could be brewing, I wanted to quickly give a massive shout out for today's flagship show sponsor. That's, of course, Rhino Bitcoin. Okay. You guys know we are massive advocates of, Bitcoin self-custody and Bitcoin only applications that are changing the game. Okay. And that's what Rhino is. Rhino is proposing to be an all-in-one Bitcoin super application. Okay. On Rhino, you can buy Bitcoin, you can sell Bitcoin, you can withdraw straight over the Lightning Network with Rhino, and you can even do some really cool little things. I want to show you a few of the things you can do on Rhino over on their website. I'm going to try my best to share my screen and show you the really cool debit cards that you can use on Rhino. Okay, so we can see here, you can buy Bitcoin on Rhino, you can sell Bitcoin on Rhino, but this is the kind of stuff that I like. I like how Rhino could potentially be a banking solution from the future where you're going to be able to pay bills and even borrow money, which is, again, super interesting concept that a lot of people talk about. What does borrowing look like on a Bitcoin standard? Well, on Rhino, they're already beginning on rolling out that process. So pretty soon you're going to be able to get loans on Rhino. Coming soon, the Rhino debit card. This is a dream for a digital nomad like myself. I'm super excited to be spending Bitcoin through a US dollar bank card. Makes life so much easier. So again, I encourage you guys, check out what Rhino is doing. Everything you need to know about Rhino, linked in the live chat, also linked down below in the comments. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit more about Elon Musk and the WeChat potential solution that he is promoting. So I teased you guys the original article. Elon Musk wants to turn X into WeChat. We know that. That's not controversial. Elon's very open about that. Okay? But something that I think a lot of people should consider is this headline right here. I want to break down this article in a moment, but I'm going to let you guys read the headline while I take a quick drink. Okay, I'm back. It's hard to talk for 19 minutes straight in a row. I apologize about that, guys. But let's think about this for a minute. WeChat, not exactly a freedom promoting technology in China, is it? I mean, I think this article says everything we need to say. China social media, WeChat and the surveillance state. I love that title. So we can see, look at this little notification. This WeChat account has been suspected of spreading malicious rumors and has been temporarily blocked. Boy, you wouldn't like to see that notification if you're in China. Just to let you guys in on a little secret, WeChat is used for everything in China. China's WeChat is a site for social interaction, a form of currency, a dating app, hello, a tool for sporting teams, and it's a delivery of news like Twitter, Facebook, Google Maps, Tinder, and Apple Pay all rolled into one. But it is also an ever-powerful weapon of social control for the Chinese government. We can see there's lots of people who've been interviewed in this article. I'm not going to be breaking this down in a really long summary. I think you guys get the picture. WeChat, not necessarily the kind of platform that we want in the West. So we can see here facial recognition technology. Your face print is required for security purposes. So this application is essentially the all-in-one app. So you can see they even capture people's voices, facial recognition. So it's pretty Orwellian stuff. So you can see this article says, apart from the creepy, I love this, apart from the creepy, you can only imagine the potential use of this data. Love that line. It's brilliant. BBC, great reporting, great journalism. Again, I'm trying to be unbiased, but again, everybody knows this about WeChat, okay? It's not a controversial opinion. The controversial opinion or the controversial question, so to say, is why is Elon Musk trying to turn Twitter into WeChat? What do you guys think? We can even see Bloomberg has talked about WeChat. WeChat is China's most beloved and feared surveillance tool. So again, we're not just showing you articles from right-wing conspiracy theorists, okay? WeChat is openly, let's just say, a company that's not exactly promoting freedom around the world, okay? It's agreed. Most people agree. All Night Hider. Dating app, eh? He likes the sound of WeChat. Yeah, I'm not sure about virtual dates either, All Night Hider. I'm a little bit old-fashioned. Some people might call me a Luddite, but I prefer the way things were 20 years ago. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it sounds like I'm caught in the thunderstorm here in Colombia. We are absolutely in danger zone. I don't know if you guys can hear it through the mic, but it's very loud, and there is lightning right outside the window. But anyway, there's some reasons for why some people have concerns over Elon Musk, okay? And we haven't even started talking about all of his other adventures with Neuralink, where he's implanting computer chips into the brains of pigs and like controlling them, okay? We're not even going to touch those rabbit holes. The question I'm going to ask you is, I think we should just watch what he's doing with Twitter. A lot of people have speculated, why did he spend $40 billion on Twitter? He's losing money out of the wazoo. It's not really an economical decision. Again, back to that question again. What's an economical question and investment and what's not? The ESG narrative was not an economical decision by BlackRock. Were there ulterior motives there? Were they trying to do the dirty business for someone else? Just questions. I'm not making assertions in today's video. Just trying to provide you guys both sides of the story. So Elon Musk, be your own judge. People also have concerns about the other co-founder of PayPal, the man, the myth, the legend, Peter Thiel. Again, I'm not going to get into the rabbit hole. I like to try to bring you these stories in compact videos. I don't want to waste your time with an hour-and-a-half live stream. But everything you need to know about Palantir, the secretive company coming for all your data. Okay, so most people know that Palantir, it has, all of these security contracts with all of these three-letter agencies. Peter Thiel even mentioned some of these three-letter agencies in the earlier video that I played for you guys at the beginning of today's video, where we were talking about why he believes the Bitcoin ETFs might have co-opted Bitcoin, okay? He doesn't sound to be a big fan of what BlackRock is doing, okay? If you are one of the 963 of you guys who have joined this live stream late, thank you for joining. And again, if you didn't see that video, simply rewind the live stream and start it from the beginning. And we would appreciate a smashing of the like button if you're enjoying the content. We are told that helps with the YouTube algorithm over here. And we are fighting a losing battle over here as a Bitcoin only YouTube channel, trying to create Bitcoin only content. The crypto guys are crushing us. Okay. So again, a like would help us spread what we think is a more objectively sound mission. Buy Bitcoin, stack Bitcoin, don't trade your Bitcoin, self-custody your Bitcoin, and just relax for 5 years. Not financial advice, obviously. But again, Palantir, there's some interesting question marks about Peter Thiel, as you would hopefully saw in that video I played for you guys earlier on National News with Andrew Ross Sorkin. Elon Musk, I think there's some question marks there. I don't need to talk any more about that. And I just find it really interesting that the two co-founders of PayPal from 25 years ago have had some interesting Bitcoin interactions in the past month. Obviously, that question, well, that interesting conversation on national news about Bitcoin being co-opted by BlackRock was hair-raising for me when Peter Thiel said that. And then Elon Musk being spotted in El Salvador was even more interesting. And this happened literally like days ago. This is very, very new. Elon Musk was literally in El Salvador. Again, how crazy. Just think about this before I break down what actually happened and what they were talking about. 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago, in 2022, imagine if somebody said the world's richest man, most successful man in the world today. That's a fact. Doesn't matter what you think of Elon Musk. He's made a lot of money. That's true. He's clearly a smart dude. He's an order of magnitude smarter than me. I'll tell you that much. Right? Doesn't matter what you think about him. If you had said 2 years ago, the world's richest man, most successful man would fly to El Salvador, the world's most dangerous country, to chop it up with their president, you would have laughed me out of the room. You would have said, I'm crazy. It's just another example why I think it's impossible to be prepared for what we're going to see in the next 2 years. Like the world is just changing at such this rapid rate, okay? Again, I've talked about the 2020s ad nauseum. Again, I've talked about the fact that we are living through something we've never lived through before in human history. We're watching the unwinding of the 90-year fourth turning cycle, the 80-year long-term debt cycle, the 250-year revolutionary cycle, the 250-year empire cycle, and we're even watching the transition from the industrial age to the digital age happen in this decade. All of those cycles are unwinding this decade, okay? I've banged on about that ad nauseum. We are living in unprecedented times. And I really do think that quote, what's the quote? There are decades where nothing happens, and then there are days where decades happen. We're living through one of those decades, so to say, where maybe centuries of change could be happening right in front of our eyes. So nobody could have projected Elon Musk going to El Salvador, Bitcoin country, 2 years ago. Just, again, think about your life and just be prepared for unpredictable things to be happening in 2 years' time. Exponential change is happening. Go long volatility. That's what I've done with my life. I'm all in Bitcoin. I'm long volatility from a financial sovereignty standpoint, and I'm long volatility from a geographical standpoint. Okay, I'm not tied to any country. I don't have any houses. I don't want any anchors in this decade because I expect things to become even more volatile. Nearly as volatile as the weather I have outside right now. It's incredible, honestly incredible. It feels like there's a hurricane here in Colombia, not Tampa, Florida. Shout out to all the people watching from Florida. I hope you navigated that hurricane smoothly over the past couple of days. It looked pretty chaotic. But again, just be prepared when we have, again, just unexplainable things like Elon Musk going to El Salvador with Bukele, just talking about technology and the future of AI. I think that's just interesting. I think it's really interesting with the timing of PayPal adopting Bitcoin. There's strange things happening. Okay? I want to have a quick chat on the chat. I apologize if I was late starting today's live stream, guys. I was having terrible internet issues. I think the thunder's actually so bad out there. It's been messing with some of the internet connections in the city. It's really bad. Incredibly bad. All Night Hider bruised the like button. Thank you, my friend. We'd appreciate a good bruising of that. They want you to use Bitcoin so they can tax everything. Just use Monero. I mean, Monero's lost 90% of its value against Bitcoin over the past 5 years. I mean, you can use what you want, but just don't save in Monero. It's the only thing I've got a strong opinion on. With all that said, guys, thank you so much to the 1,111 of you guys tuning in. I'm going to end this live